Hello, this is Elaine from Antelope Beads, and today I'm going to show you how to make a stretchy Lycra bracelet woven in and out of rings and with a little slide that we'll actually use as our centerpiece. When the Lycra comes, it comes flat like this. First thing I want to do is stretch it, and when I stretch it, it not only stretches but it kind of curls around. So I'm going to stretch all three pieces, and if my ends don't completely curl, I can just run my hand over them until they do. I've got three pieces of stretched Lycra here. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is line up my pieces. Again, I'm going to get this stretched just because it's a little easier to weave. And I'm going to pick up a ring, and I will start by putting the middle strand from the bottom through to the top, and I'll take the outside strands and I'm going to run them from the top to the bottom. There's ring number one, and I'm just going to repeat this process until I have enough rings. Again, the middle one will go from the bottom through to the top. The outside one will go from the top to the bottom. And because the Lycra is really soft and flexible, I can get these rings up quite close to each other. And if I need to start sliding them down, I can do that too. Okay. Bottom to the top, and then top to the bottom. And I'll do three more. And then I'll start checking my length. Okay. Lycra is a great material. Don't even need a clasp because it just stretches on and off. These rings are actually bead frames. They have holes in them, so when I finish, I will make sure that my holes are facing away from the outside of the bracelet. If you find you make a mistake, it's of course easy to just pull it out and start again. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to need that one more ring, so I'm going to go ahead and slide this down a little bit. Top. Out to the bottom. Okay, now I've got 7 rings on here. I'm going to snug them up a little bit. Okay, now when I put this center ring on here, this piece looks like it's just wrinkling a little bit, so I'm going to adjust everything there. That looks pretty good. When I put this slide on, it's got an open back, and I am going to actually go ahead and slide the 3 pieces through one side of the slide. A couple ways to do this. One is to just sort of work them in. Okay. If you find that you're running out of room or it just feels like it's a little tight, we have an alternative, and that is that we will trim the end of the Lycra into a triangle, and then we will take a piece of 24 gauge wire, poke it through the Lycra, there we go. Okay. Fold that wire in half, and we have a little needle. So now I can easily run this Lycra through the slide. Same thing on the other side. Again, because I'm sort of running out of room inside of the slide, I'm going to trim it into a triangle, poke my wire through, through the slide. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to try it on so that I can decide how tight I want it to be. Because the slide is a little bit heavier than the rings, the slide will tend to go to the bottom of your wrist unless we have it snug enough to fit on. So I'm going to flip this over, do the same thing on this side. One piece I know is going to go in pretty easily, and I might have to use my needle for the other. The other tool to use for this is a pair of chain nose pliers. You can just grab the end of the Lycra and pull it right through. There's my triangle. Here's my 24 gauge wire. And it sort of wants to bump into the other side, but I can sort of keep that out of the way there. If I do have even more trouble pulling this through, I can just grab the wire with a pair of chain nose pliers, pull it through. There we go, that's two. We got one more to go. The Lycra condenses an incredible amount. It will actually string over a 1.5 millimeter whole bead. So there's, even though it looks like there's not much room inside that slide, there's more than what we think. And again, because the wire is sort of bumping into the other side, I think I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and pull that through. Go. There. Okay, so now we've got 6 strands that are all poking out from the inside of this slide. Next thing I'm going to do is sort of adjust everything, see how it's going to sit. I'm going to try it on. When it's on and not condensed, I want it to be pretty snug. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up just a little bit so it fits on my wrist and it doesn't rotate. And then I will hold on to these ends as I take it off again. I'm still working with the bracelet inside out. And I'm going to tie each one of these ends separately into a square knot. And that's a right over left, and then a left over right. And I'm going to give these one last little pull to make sure that they're as small as they need to be. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I will then trim off the ends, leaving a little bit of a extra, but I really don't need much. And then, the ends stick up a little bit, but, really not significant. I'm going to take some glue and just hit all the little knots with a little bit of super glue glue. And then when I turn this inside out, I have a finished bracelet. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope you enjoy some of our other videos as well.